Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. End of the week, end of the month, end of August. No more August. It's time for seasonality scares of September. And are you guys all ready for that? I know Tracker is.
I'm ready to see the typical seasonality mantras. I don't know, broken a little bit maybe. That's what I'm hoping for anyway. Because is it really going to go? Bitcoin's running out of time on my chart as far as the way I've been thinking. Well, I'll talk about it when it's my turn. But I feel like we're going to get some more pump before any kind of you know. It's like we're just getting started. It's all of 2025. We're like two-thirds of the way through the year, and it feels like we're just getting started still. But go ahead, Matt.
Yeah, let's just start with SPY, but we're getting a reaction off of this 1.272 finally. I mean, this should not be a surprise. I've been talking about this forever and ever and ever and ever, how price is probably going to gravitate up to there, and we got there, right? Finally, we got there yesterday with the daily candle close right at, 648.92, which was right underneath the 648.98. Which means that it's resistance, right? And you know what? The new month is starting at resistance. I don't know. Is this going to be scary? They're going to flush people out like they did last month. I mean, kind of the same situation. This was last month right here on the 31st. And then, boom, the first, they collapsed it. And then it just went back higher. So, yeah, you could see a little bit of a sell-off maybe next week or so, back to some support zones here where the Ichimoku conversion line is 641, 634 in that zone. Or even getting closer to the cloud as possible before going higher. But they love to do that, right? Beginning of the month, they love to scare you. So just be prepared for more volatility because we are at resistance finally for the SPY. And QQQ also basically hit resistance yesterday too again, and it's selling off as well. So should not be a surprise. We got the conversion and the baseline down there at 568. 567, even the clouds down here in the low 560s as well. So we'll see if that does need to get hit. IWM is actually doing pretty well pre-market. It's flat exactly, no change at all. But it's not at resistance. So this could be something really good for IWM if we can get some confirmation to close above it 235.05 on today at the end of the day for the weekly and monthly candle close. So that'll be fantastic. Like to have a weekly candle close like this, to have a monthly candle close look like this for IWM would be amazing because we've never really had a monthly candle close except for this one fake out, right? Before, there's never been a monthly candle close above that 886 besides that stupid fake out. So getting back above it is a big deal, 235.05, and maybe if this can break through, then perhaps the SPY and QQQ are going to break through their resistance. But as usual, I am cautious at that resistance zone because we got to have more confirmation. But so far right now, you're getting a reaction that it's resistance off of both the SPY and the QQQ. So this is why I'm a little bit cautious here at resistance. And we can go to check out Tesla right here. Is it going to close the week or the month above things today? I mean, maybe not, right? We got the ARC right there is getting rejected. You got the 886 log-based fib, 353.19 getting rejected. You got the linear scale, 347, what is that? 347.58 getting rejected. Just a bunch of rejections for Tesla at resistance, but this is normal, right? It's nothing scary, but everybody likes to be more euphoric at resistance than they are at support, but I've been pounding the table all the time at support, all these support levels that have been holding. It's not been scary, but now it's at resistance. People think it's going to be a lot more bullish, but I'm cautious still until we get some confirmation to break free. And Leslie, let's look at Bitcoin. I do have Starbucks here. I made a post earlier how pumpkin spice latte season. I don't know. Yeah, it's going to go back up. It's right at support here, guys, at linear support for going up to the 115 again. So there's your Starbucks tip of the day. And let's see. Bitcoin, yeah. Bitcoin, what did it do? Well, overnight again, it went right back down to the ARC one more time, right? Was it scary? No. Is it scary? No. It's just normal. It's just building a base. And this is kind of obvious because of how it opened the new weekly candle below that conversion line, right? Opening below the conversion line means it's probably going to retest some lower levels, and that's what it did. So can it go back to the 105 down here or a wick below to the 103? Yeah, of course it could, right? But ultimately, this is trying to build a base on top of a new zone, previous resistance flipping to support. So Bitcoin is fine, altcoins are fine, everything's fine. And IWM is kind of showing us that everything is fine because IWM is breaking out, which means it's probably going to be very, very beneficial for altcoins and Bitcoin as well. So Tracker, back to you.
All right. I just want to show you guys a view of Bitcoin as well. Mostly just looking at this box. I do this box this morning and how basically we just kind of got into this range right here and we've gotten over the top of it and we're testing back to it. So, I mean, this could mean that it's ready to move higher and continue on in an upward trajectory, which you could pretty easily tell here. I mean, for a long while, I've got this line drawn right here, and it just seems like and this is not the GAN line. This is just my own little line I pulled here for the potential wave 5, and it's really following along it. So, maybe it just wants to go. What I was talking about earlier was saying it feels like Bitcoin's running out of time because I've got these. I showed you this chart before. The lighter blue zones are where it seems to run. Then it consolidates in the darker blue zones, runs in the lighter blue, consolidates in the darker blue. It's just like from the 5618 to the 7618. Then it goes from the 7618 to 8618, and then now from the 8 to the 10618 is the blue zone again in these time fibs. And it just feels like it's running out of time. So it needs to do something. I'm looking for something drastic here, hopefully. But if it just goes up to the next level, I guess 122 to 143, that's not the end of the world. It just goes sideways. Up and sideways. And then, Kat's been talking about two things, right? Bitcoin dominance falling and then Ethereum coming up. And I was telling people, I kind of countered in a post, people were saying, well, does that mean that Bitcoin's going to go down? Well, no, Bitcoin dominance can fall, but what it just really means is that others will outperform Bitcoin. So Bitcoin could still be going up, but other things will just be going up faster. So it'll be less dominant in the market. And so, Ethereum had that big, nice breakout that Matt's been talking about, Kat's been talking about. Looking back to this range, it's not quite tested the all-time high yet. No, it did. It broke through. It did break through the all-time high. That's the all-time high back there. So yeah, Ethereum could be. Just ignore this right here. But yeah. So I like the SBETs of the strategies that follow Ethereum and Sol Strategy and others. I think I kind of put MicroStrategy to the side and started looking at some of the other strategies for now. That's kind of it. And then going back to the Bitcoin chart. It seems like every morning I wake up and it's like, oh no, Bitcoin or all the cryptos testing supports again, testing more supports. But it's just been these are weekly charts, right? So 1, 2, 3 weeks ago, things look really exciting. 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, it's been a couple months where it got really good, and then it just seemed to never be as good until 3 weeks ago, and so compared to 3 weeks ago, it seems terrible. But looking at the long, Matt will tell you, just look at the long term. We're going up. We're going up. Just if you just pick a spot in time and a position and just hang on, you'll be fine in the long term. Okay, that's enough about that. Oh, I guess I'll just say one. What do I have to say about Tesla? I've got this much smaller GAN chart than I think Matt's using. Yeah, and we're just sort of stuck into this little resistance area. It looks like on my chart, Tesla price just wants to cram its way into this little corner, and then once it figures out, once there's no more space left to go, it should run higher. Is my prediction. Gosh, that's the end of the year. I don't know. Maybe we get a little breakout and then test back into the beginning of next year. But it too, over the long term, is just following a very long uptrend. I mean, after this huge breakout here from 2020 to 2021, just from 2021 through now, it's just this uptrend. You can see that I've got with these fib lines here, this fib channel. All right. All right, Matt, why don't you take us into the requests?
Okay, yeah, let's go take a look here. Let's see where we're gonna start.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean
Galaxy.
to
No, no,
stop
no, no,
you.
no. I'm ready. I'm
All
just
right.
there's just a bunch of them.
There are a bunch of them.
Some people are requesting like 17 billion at a time too.
I know.
It's amazing. Yeah. All right, let's go ahead and take a look here at Galaxy. So Galaxy still is breaking out, back testing the arc here. No change week over week. If we look for a monthly candle close today, we're going to be putting on the Ichimoku conversion line baseline and the cloud, and we're going to see that it's well above the monthly cloud, well above the conversion baseline. So the trend is very much alive. So it's probably just going to spend some time consolidating here before it's really ready to clearly break above this 886 and go higher. So we're going to be a little bit patient on here because it's had a very nice, successful 4 months in a row. So, of course, a couple months of just doing nothing kind of makes sense before continuing higher. So, patience with Galaxy with this one. We can do Rocket Lab as well. RKLB, just take a look here. And it looks like it wants to close the week back above the 1.414. That's good. And it did have a successful breakout backtest of this angle right here, which was a previous support flip to resistance that was reclaimed here back in June. So breakout backtest is beautiful. And now the goal is just to stabilize above that 45.21 for the potential to go up to the 65.45 up there. And let's see, I'll do, SoFi. These are all popular, so I'll go through them pretty quickly. SoFi is still in a range between the 886 and the 1 level. There's no breakout of the all-time highs just yet, but there is a breakout of the 886, so just stay above that. 2276 is fine. Palantir, this one also is looking like it's trying to stabilize above this 1.618. So we'll see a monthly and a weekly candle close today. But is it going to close back above that 157.62 for another fourth consecutive week in a row? Let's find out. All right, 157.62 is that target. It's very close to that pre-market. Do have a couple of crypto I'll do, and then I'll pass it to you, Tracker.
Sure.
Dogecoin. We see that it's just building a base on top of the baseline still, and that is 28.68, and then we got the conversion line at 22.2, so it's still just in a range, breaking out, getting rejected right where it should, kind of back testing right where it should as well. Even already held the 50% fib. The monthly candles look great because it's basically just inside the cloud now for the first time in a while, and also just maintaining that base on that 19-cent zone. So it's still holding levels just fine, getting ready to become more and more bullish in the weeks and months to come. And lastly, I'll check out XRP because people are freaking out about altcoins this morning, but there's really no change. That monthly conversion line is right there at 263. Never even went back to touch it this month. It got pretty close, but close is not enough. And we go to the weekly chart for XRP, and right now we're looking for a weekly candle close on Sunday. Sunday, right? Sunday is the week and the month. Yeah, it's going to be both for crypto. Interesting. But that is 290. I want to see a weekly candle close on Sunday above 2.90693. Just maintain that conversion line for that potential to stabilize and continue its momentum to the higher levels sooner. So that is not going to change if it breaks, right? If it did break that, then maybe it would go back to the 260s finally, which would be the monthly conversion line right down there too. But ideally, to maintain its momentum and break out sooner, it would be best to hold that weekly conversion line at 290. So, Tracker, back to you.
Thanks. I've got my Ethereum chart up again. I just wanted to point this one thing out. Here's the lifetime chart for Coinbase's Ethereum. It's not. I don't think it's a lifetime for all of Ethereum, but or maybe it is. But it's interesting. Here you can see here's where it was 100% from the very start. It back tests the 50% level twice, finds perfect support on it, and then heads on up. Then this really was the 100% level, and now it's just trying to get over the 100% level of back tests, almost the 886, but not quite. So, I mean, what this tells me is what you keep hearing Matt and Kat joking about. Ethereum to 14,000, right? Here's 13,833 for the 1.414 fib retracement. So, extending beyond 100%. And, we're kind of halfway there. 4,000 doesn't feel like half of 14,000, but on log scale it is, and we're kind of like halfway there already. So anyway, I just wanted to point that out. Let's see if I have. Here's my ONDS chart. I don't know what I said here. ONDS did not pull back to the 50% pivot here. It just kept going. So let's pull this out and this off, and it went right for the 702. So this really is it's lifetime high, even back in the 2019s, 2020, down to its all-time low of 31 cents. It's back to 570. It's above its center pivot. Very bullish. Yeah, so the 702 was resistance at 570. It's 570 right now. It's literally at its weakest support of the upper half, but it hasn't really gotten into the upper half yet. So yeah, if it can flip it to support, then it can keep going. Test back to the 618 isn't out of the question. 403 isn't that hard to reach from here, but yeah, and look, the RSI tells me it's pretty oversold. So look for a test back to 403, the 618 here, on the way to the 786. So from here to here, it didn't pull back last time to the 50%. Maybe it'll pull back this time to the 618. So there you go. There's my idea for ONDS there. SoundHound, I like this one for crypto play as well. I've got a bunch of stuff going on here from the all-time high. That's including, let me just move this. The all-time high, the all-time low, halfway point argued pretty well. New higher high, support just over the 618. I wonder if this, let's go to the 618 one more time or not. It looks like it's kind of narrowing the range. Like this was the big move up, the big retracement, and now it's kind of like arguing the center here. So if it stays on this trend, look for like another test of 1656 next. Yeah, and that's, you can see if I get real close, it's kind of back at its center pivot here that it's arguing from the all-time high to. What did I do? Oh, I made this the center pivot is what I did. What if I just make this like that? Then we're just under the center pivot. So 1497 seems, if this is the week closes like this, it does look like a little rising hammer there. Yeah, maybe we see 1497 next week or into a retest of that. So yeah, and then if I let's just do a quick extension here from here to here to here. It looks like it's heading into back to retest the 100% larger fib here. So 1236, a little bit more than the 764. 2236 is next. So I would say, yeah, it wants to go from where it is now up to 2272 overall. But look for it to be resistance at 1675, then 1875, and then just peak out over 2144 before having to do an ABC correction back down, maybe towards 1659. All right, back to you, Matt. Let's see what else I can get into here.
Yeah, let me just knock out a few of these other charts. See SUI here. Let's go here. Let me to my chart. So here you go, SUI. Another crypto, backtesting the cloud again, backtesting the angle again, backtesting the arc, backtesting everything, backtesting at 1.272. It's looking very, very nice, right? Breakout backtest. It's probably getting ready to continue the journey higher sooner than later. So I like it. It's at support, bullish at support, right, for the continuation higher. Let's look at HIMS. Why not? HIMS, what am I looking at? Well, I'm just looking at a couple of things. Inside the cloud is fine. Stay above 42 is fine. It's not ready to get back above the 4664 just yet, but we can go to the linear scale and just take a look at that 1.618 is still way down there too at 3942. If it ever wanted to get touched, there is a possibility of that. But ideally, just stay inside the cloud here at the 42, still just stabilizing here and until it's ready to get more bullish. But yeah, again, bullish at support. We're going to look at QS here, and QS on a month-to-month. Whoops, let's go to this one. QS on a month-to-month basis or a week-to-week basis, we can see that there is really no stability where it's at in current price. And we can even add on the moving averages, and everything got flipped to a resistance up here. So the potential to go back down to the weekly cloud is there. So we do got to be a little bit cautious with QS right here. So since losing this support, there really is no high time frame support until maybe a little bit lower. We can put on the Bollinger Band just to see that 20-week average is also there too at 665. So just more confidence that a backtest of at least the top of the cloud is possible for QS. ASST, asset entities. This one is kind of just stuck in a range, really. There's nothing to update on this one. Yeah, conversion line baseline, 670s, 690s. That's our resistance, 592 support. I mean, closing a week and a month back above the 618 would be a good thing. So let's just keep watching 592 to stabilize above it. Let's do BBAI, Black Bear, or Big Bear, sorry. And Big Bear is starting to lose a lot of support, right? It broke through the cloud, broke through this 702, 599, and now it's even breaking through the baseline. So these are signs of going lower, right? When you see a reaction like this off the cloud, initially it was a good reaction, but then last week it had a bad reaction and it closed below multiple levels, even the baseline, which is leading to a continuation lower. So this is why we're seeing lower. And now this brings 453 to the table for our next potential support because it broke through support, right? This is how you take it one level at a time there until we get some confirmation of stability. So I'll be looking for that 618 as a stabilizer. And lastly, I see this K33AB. And yeah, let's just watch that 50% fib, right? From the high to the low back on 2025 of January to April. There it is, 0454. We'll watch that for potential support. Maybe it can close the week above the 618 if it's lucky, right? The 0510. We'll see. That'd be ideal for stability, just to turn into a wick, but we'll see. We'll see if it can. But it looks like it's still in a downtrend. There's really nothing bullish going on at the moment. It's still just trying to find some kind of higher low, but we need to find stability first before anything can reverse. So let's just watch that 0454. Trekker, back to you.
All right. I've got SBET Gaming up here on my chart, and I wanted to show you how I kind of like, these cup and handles, what they kind of form out of are two competing trends, like an uptrend and a downtrend. Here you can see the downtrend that SBET Gaming has been in for quite a while. I kind of picked for this channel this low back here, and then this most recent all-time low, and then pulled the channel back up to the top here. And you can see right here is where it looked promising, like it was gonna break the channel, but it didn't. I mean, it just came right to the top of the same trend, boxed out. But the good news is that it's trying to make this uptrend. And so what I've drawn is maybe it's grasping at straws because I just took the two bottom, this lowest low, and then the higher low that it had after that. And then I pulled it all the way back to this low over here. And so, but it does look like it's trying to fight its way out of this downtrend to get into this uptrend. So based on, sometimes I try to imagine at timing, if it just follows this trend line right here, let me show you with an arrow. If it goes right along, I clicked this trend line from here, right, and just follows this line up here, even going up and down on the way, maybe by February 2027, it might hit right here and look something like this. And so, I don't know, this is the kind of stuff I'm looking for in SBET. I know that's what I'm hoping for, I guess you could say. Otherwise, the downtrend keeps going. You'll know we've lost another nook in the uptrend if it falls below this trend line right here. I guess what I'm trying to show you guys is like, these having a chart that you can play with is much more valuable. I mean, sometimes, it's more valuable than a static chart that we can show you and you can take a picture of. Having a chart you can mess around with can kind of give you a lot more ideas. It's sort of more of a living document, if you will. So yeah, this trend line right here, if it falls down, breaks this 214, and then keeps following this line, then it either goes to a new, it goes back to this rung of the upward trend, as I could see it. But right now, it's hopeful for it to stay along this trend. Anyway, that's all I've got to say about SBET, I guess. Other than if it continues along this uptrend, it will be it'll be a big return, right? Because we're at 1846, and that would take us to, that's like a 10 bagger, right? 1,129% higher to 240. I had DFDV. I was going to bring that up as well. Same thing. This one's just 2 uptrends actually, and there's like the sharp uptrend that it's been in its sort of lifetime. Well, actually, just a little more recent. And then there's this lower angle trend that it's been in, but we have to see it fight its way out of this band to return to this band. If you can see what I'm saying. Yeah, but this one could keep it going for a while. But so far it hasn't. When I draw these bands, the upper part, oh no, this one's different. Never mind. It's supposed to have an extra 10% on the top and 10% on the bottom. If it just follows this blue line, then it stays on course. And we touch the blue line. Let's see what happens in the coming weeks. All right. I'm bullish on this one as well. Let me see. Do I have a Redwire chart? The part of what is going on here is I'm making new charts instead of having all my old charts. So when I come here, I'm not really super prepared because I don't have new charts for all of these. I'm just going to do this and get it right back to Matt after this. Let's say from this previous high, all-time high, to this low down here, and place these. Oh, no, yeah, that's actually pretty good. So yeah, I went to the 114, back all the way down to the 618. You see this a lot where if it doesn't go all the way to the 50%, the 618 is a really good place for it to hold. And then you have a new higher high from here and a higher low from there. I want to draw a channel for you on this as well and just show you from this bottom to here to this top here. This is like a lovely trend that it's on, I would say. So for a while anyway, it might stay pretty close to this gray, the stronger gray line that you see in the middle. So just for example, if it only stayed along that gray line and came back to it, let's say in 2020, in July of next year, that's 83% higher. All right, anyway, that's Redwire. It's the trend, the lifetime trend is upwards. You can kind of, I guess you could say it's sideways, but it's definitely been an uptrend ever since 2023, 2022. All right, back to you, Matt.
Yeah, I'll do a couple more here before I run away and do Solana. I want to just take a look at this one. So Solana is actually very, very nice. It's outperforming a lot of things right now. And it's breaking above the Ichimoku cloud. It's breaking above this arc right here as well. So it's just very, very bullish on the weekly time frame. It actually broke out and back tested already the 185. So stay above that. It's going to get more bullish. But more importantly, stay above 203. It's going to get more bullish. Let's do AMD as well. AMD, there's fears about crashing down to the 130s. I mean, I don't really see that. And the reason why is even if it broke that 164, well, the 149 is probably going to catch it below. And that was a very important zone before, right here, a big zone here, a V bottom out of there. And it was kind of like the breakdown zone back in October 2024 before it collapsed, right? So reclaiming that and flipping it to support would not be a bearish situation. So I know RBB was talking about the 130s on Amit's live stream yesterday, but I just don't see it. I think worst case scenario, maybe a wick through the 149, that zone, right? But so far, I mean, it's got to break this first, right? It's got to break the 164.30 first, and so far it's stabilizing on top of it. So, I mean, I guess don't count our chickens before they hatch, because so far 164.30 is our support until proven otherwise. Let's do, we can just look at Coinbase pre-market. Why not? How is it going to close the month? Well, it's going to close the week above the 307. I'm sorry, above the 293 right here. That's the baseline. The monthly chart, how's it going to close a month? Well, the conversion line is also 293. So there's really no point of closing anywhere except just above anywhere above 293, right? Best case scenario would be just a nice bullish day today and close back above the 318.95. Not sure if that's going to happen, but we'll find out, right? We'll find out if that can happen, because it'd be a really bullish situation. But at least just keep maintaining that conversion line for the eventual push higher and higher and higher. And we can also look at what else? Nvidia. Yeah, since I did AMD, let's look at Nvidia too. Where's my Nvidia chart? Here it is. Nvidia monthly chart. What am I looking at? Well, the conversion line is way down here at 135. I mean, that's really kind of getting overextended. But what I'm watching the most is to see if it can close over this 1.272, this tiny little fib here from January to April. Just closing above that 178.80 is what I'm watching the most. It is a little bit below that right now, but that would be a very nice zone to close above. But if it does not, it's going to be some kind of a resistance before trying to break free. And if it is resistance, where could it retest to? Well, we could see that conversion line back test maybe at least one more time. That's around 168. So we'll be patient with this one, because it is a little bit overextended on the weekly chart, on the monthly chart. So it could spend some time cooling off a little bit before continuing higher. So I'm not too bullish up here, but the time to be bullish is really when it broke out of the cloud and just never really looked back. That was the opportunity. So until then, Tracker, why don't you finish off the show?
Sure, thanks. I've got a better treatment for Redwire to show you guys. I spent a couple of minutes here while Matt was talking. So here is what I'm looking at as the wave start. Your large degree wave 1 right here, wave 2, and then your subwave 1, 2, all of 3, all of 4, all of 5. And it doesn't look that impressive here in log scale, but when you go to linear scale, you're like, oh, now I see. It really does. I mean, this large wave 1, wave 2, then the smaller 1, 2, which leads into, and I've shown you guys before, my chart, I just kind of gloss over there's a 3-4, a sub 3-4 in here. This is all of wave 3, all of wave 4, all of wave 5, which is way up there because on log scale, I placed it really high, but on linear scale, there. So let me just get rid of that. I don't know, take a picture here. These are my Fibonacci linear scale, the lifetime linear scale extensions. So this wants to go to 62.49 next, which would be fantastic because that would take it past the 141 in time. I don't have this doesn't predict timing, but you can see it's not completely out of the question. Well, for this, it's hard to say as far as timing. I mean, this part could look like, it could look something like that. And actually, wait, it's going to go here, right? So it could go to there. It could be this long for wave 3, really, all the way into July of 2026. Or if it gets real sharp. Anyway, these are the numbers that you want to look at anyway. All right, take a screenshot for Redwire, and that's it. I just want to try is inspire you guys to go out there, get TradingView, use the free version for now, buy a yearly subscription when they go on sale on Black Friday, just right after Thanksgiving, American Thanksgiving, and start making your own charts, because there's nothing more valuable than having your own charts. You can start to use some of the techniques that Matt and I have, but you can really watch them from day to day on every time scale. It just becomes a lot more. A live chart is so much more useful than a static one, is all I can say. Static one is where I kind of fail at presenting a lot of times, one unique idea. That's the really good FinX people out there, Matt included. They provide you like a single chart that shows you a single idea without a whole bunch of stuff on there. I tend to just do screenshots of my whole chart and try to explain what I'm seeing out of it. But you're train your own eyes, and it can really reap rewards for you. That's it. Go out there, everyone, become a chartist. If you enjoy charts, learn to make them yourself too.
Oh yeah.
And along those lines, Matt does have some fantastic charting tutorials in his Patreon.
Tier 4.
Tier 4. All right.
Yes.
Thanks, everybody. Happy weekend. Happy end of the week, end of the month, all that good stuff. Like Matt said, your closing thought here is that the last or the very first week of the new month can be crazy volatility.
Well,
So
especially we're at resistance right now. I just showed you on all the time frames, except for IWM. It's trying to break above. So could be good things if IWM stays above that support that I talked about this morning.
So maybe with the non small caps, with the large caps, maybe raise a little cash before the beginning of the next month.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, things are at resistance. Even Nvidia looks like it's struggling here. AMD could be testing a little bit lower. Yeah. So lots of things are at a resistance zone. So just be cautious with those. But also, things are also at support and a lot of risk on stuff. Even crypto keeps backtesting high time frame support too. Overnight just did the same thing. Yeah.
Like I showed you with the Bitcoin, it really just does seem like it backtested that earlier higher level. So, it's on top. Wait, I'm doing a 16-hour. It's on top of this box, right? This previous high support breaks out, backtest, then it breaks out of the box and backtests the box is where we are right now. So this could be headed higher. Just saying, it could go back inside again, touch this 300 moving average, but it doesn't have to. Oh, maybe if I put the Ichimoku on, that might help. Or not. We've lost the Ichimoku 16-hour supports. Let me look at the monthly support. Sorry, Matt. It's like my hand on the door as we're trying to go out the door. Like, oh, you just bring it one more thing.
I'm kicking you out. Just trying to force you out of there.
On the monthly chart, look, we're flying above the monthly Ichimoku conversion line, and on the weekly, we're just oscillating around it. So it still looks really good on the higher time frame. That's all you need to know. All right, thanks, guys. We'll see you on Monday.
Yeah, see you Monday, guys. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Matt.